Juno did not panic. That was the first thing Eva noticed, and in the specific way she noticed everything, she understood immediately that his calm was not the calm of someone who didn't see the sedan. It was the calm of someone who had seen it before the SUV had cleared the building's driveway, and had already made 3 decisions before she said a word. "I know," he said. Just that. 2 words. Eyes in the rearview mirror for exactly 1 second, then back on the road. Eva looked at Debbie. Debbie was sitting with her small bag in her lap and her hands folded on top of it and her eyes forward. And she had the expression of a woman who had decided that the most useful thing she could do in this moment was not fall apart. Eva felt a specific rush of something, not quite love, not quite gratitude, the thing that lived between those two and had no clean name. She picked up her phone. Eva sedan. 2 cars back. Juno sees it. "We are moving." The response came in 8 seconds. Chuan, "My father is already on with Juno. Don't call. Don't text anyone else. Just ride." Eva put the phone in her lap. Looked out the window at Los Angeles doing its brilliant and different morning. The clean blue sky, the palm trees, the traffic moving with the particular unhurried confidence of a city that had decided long ago that it would not be rushed by anything or anyone. She thought about her mother. Specifically, she thought about something Amelia had told her when she was 8 years old. On a morning very much like this one, bright, ordinary, the city outside doing exactly what it always did. They had been in the car on the way to school and Eva had been anxious about something. A test, a presentation, she couldn't remember which. And Amelia had said, without looking away from the window, "The thing about pressure, my love, is that it does not create what is in you. It only reveals it. So the question is never whether you can handle the moment. The question is who you already are." Eva looked at the rearview mirror. The sedan was still there. Who you already are. Welcome to Black Silk Stories, the home of Afro-Korean stories that hit different. Subscribe, drop a comment, and do not go anywhere. This is only the beginning. Juno took 3 turns in quick succession, left, left, without signaling, without slowing, without any of the hesitation that would have told the sedan that he knew. The SUV moved through the turns with the smooth, unhurried confidence of someone who had mapped this route before sitting down to drive it. Eva watched the rearview mirror. The sedan made the first turn, the second, the third. "It's still there," she said quietly. "I know," Juno said. His voice was the same as it had been in the lobby. Large, unhurried, completely present. "They're not trying to stop us. They're tracking us. They want to know where we're going. So we don't go where we're going," Eva said. Juno's eyes found hers in the rearview mirror. Something moved in them, brief, almost approving. "Mr. Kwan said the same thing 30 seconds ago. Where do we go instead?" "There is a building on Wilshire," Juno said. "Underground parking. 2 exits, one to Wilshire, one to the alley behind. We go in one side." A pause. "The sedan cannot follow us in without showing themselves. And if they do follow us in? Then my father's people in that building will have a conversation with them," Juno said simply. Eva nodded. Looked at Debbie. Debbie was looking at Juno with the expression of someone revising their assessment of a situation upward rapidly. "Debbie," Eva said. "I'm fine," Debbie said before Eva could ask. "I've driven through worse Lagos traffic than this. Keep going." Eva almost smiled. Almost. Her phone lit up. "Fuan. How are you?" Not a question. Check. She could feel the difference. Eva thinking clearly. Scared underneath. Both things. Chun good. Fear and clarity together is the most useful. Eva Jian said that to me 4 days ago. Chi Wan. My father says it to me every time. Eva, your family has a lot of sayings. Chuan, we have a lot of situations that require them. She did smile this time. Small and brief and completely real. Eva 1. The judge. The one on my mother's list. What's his name? A pause. Chun why? Eva. Because Sairi needs to move on him before Sungjin lands officially, and has time to make a call. If Sungjin reaches that judge before we do. Eva. Sairi knows. She is already moving on the judge. My father made sure of that an hour ago. Eva exhaled. Eva okay. Good. Chuan, you were going to call the judge yourself, weren't you? She didn't answer that. Eva. Eva, I was thinking about it. Chi-Wan. You are 11 years old. Eva, I'm aware. Chi-Wan. My father would like you to please let the adults handle the judge. Eva. Tell your father I said noted. Chi-Wan. He's going to like you so much when he meets you in person. She looked out the window. The Wilshire building was coming into view, tall, glass, ordinary in the way that buildings that were not ordinary learn to look. Juno signaled left, turned into the underground parking entrance. The ramp descended into the cool concrete dark. Eva turned and looked through the rear window. The sedan had stopped at the entrance to the parking structure. It sat at the top of the ramp, engine running, not following. They stopped, she said. Yes, Juno said. They don't know this building. They don't know what's inside. He pulled into a space near the far wall. Cut the engine. We wait here for 12 minutes. Then we leave through the alley exit in a different vehicle. A different vehicle, Debbie repeated. She looked at the parking structure around them. Concrete, cold, the specific gray of underground spaces. Where is the different vehicle? Already here, Juno said. He nodded toward the far corner of the structure. A silver estate car sat parked 3 spaces from the alley exit. Unremarkable, clean. A parking permit visible in the windscreen. Eva looked at it. Then she looked at Juno. Your father planned this before we left the apartment. My father plans before he plans, Juno said. And for the first time, something moved in his expression that was not professional composure, something that was almost briefly the suggestion of pride. Eva understood. She recognized the specific feeling of being grateful for a parent's foresight. The way it could arrive alongside grief without either one diminishing the other. The way loving what you had and mourning what was gone could occupy the same breath. She picked up her phone. Eva, we're in the building on Wilshire. Sedan stopped at the entrance. 12 minutes, then the silver car. Chewing good. While you wait, my father wants to know if you have eaten anything today. Eva stared at the screen. Eva, are you serious right now? Chiwon. He is extremely serious. He says you have been running on toast and adrenaline for 4 days and that is not a strategy. Eva, please tell your father that I had toast this morning and I am fine. Chiwon, he says toast is not food. Eva, Chiwon. I'm just the messenger. Debbie reached into her bag and produced, with the specific calm of a woman who had anticipated everything, a container of jollof rice sealed tight and still faintly warm. She set it on the seat between them without a word. Eva stared at it. Eva. Debbie brought jollof rice. Chiwon, I like Debbie very much. Eva. Everyone likes Debbie. She opened the container. Ate 3 forkfuls. A collapsible fork also produced from Debbie's bag with the same wordless precision. The jollof rice was warm and exactly right, and Eva felt, in a parking structure under a building on Wilshire Boulevard while a sedan sat at the top of the ramp above them, something that was almost normal. Almost ordinary. The specific gift of food prepared by someone who loved you in a moment when everything else was anything but. Debbie, she said. When this is over, I'm giving you the longest holiday you've ever had. Debbie looked at her. When this is over, you're going back to school and doing your homework. That's what's happening. Eva opened her mouth, closed it, looked at her jollof rice. Fair, she said. The 12 minutes passed. They moved to the silver car, Juno driving, Eva and Debbie in the back, the alley exit taking them out onto a side street that fed into traffic 2 blocks from Wilshire without touching the entrance where the sedan was still waiting. Eva watched through the rear window as the side street cleared behind them. Nothing followed. She turned back around. Let out a breath she had been holding at low level for the past 40 minutes. Eva, clear. We're out. Chewing good. 20 minutes to the property. Jian is already there. Sairi will join by video call from her hotel. She cannot move freely right now. Sungjin has people watching her too. Eva, he's watching Sairi? Chiwon. He's watching everyone he thinks matters. Which means he knows the shape of what's against him. He just doesn't know all of it yet. Eva. What doesn't he know? A pause longer than usual. Chiwon. He doesn't know about the second drive. My father has confirmed that. The first drive, yes. Sungjin knew about that and planned around it. The second drive, the lockbox, the 4 names, he has no idea. Your mother kept that completely separate. Even from the people who knew about the first drive. Eva looked out the window at Los Angeles moving past in brilliant morning light. She thought about her mother. Not the documents, not the legal structures, not the extraordinary architecture of preparation that Amelia had built around her daughter like an invisible fortress. Just her mother. Just the woman who had sat at a kitchen island at 11:30 on a Tuesday with a cold cup of tea and eyes that were saying goodbye to something she refused to name out loud. She was so careful, Eva said, quietly. To the window. To herself. Debbie hurt. Reached over. Took her hand again. The same gesture as in the elevator, warm and steady and asking nothing. Yes, Debbie said simply. She was. They rode in silence for a moment. The city moved past. The sky was brilliant and completely clear. Then Eva's phone rang. Not Chuan. Not Jian. Not a number she didn't recognize. A number she knew. A Los Angeles number. A number that had been in her phone for 2 years under a contact name that made her stomach drop the moment she saw it. Mr. Tony. Her mother's security. The man who had come to the door on the day Amelia died and been turned away by the legal team. The man whose eyes through the gap in the door had said everything his voice had not been permitted to say. The man Eva had not heard from since. She stared at the screen. Eva. Debbie said. She had seen the name. I know, Eva said. She answered. Miss Eva. His voice was low and careful, the specific careful of someone calling from a place they were not certain was private. I'm sorry I haven't called before now. I couldn't, they had eyes on me. The people from Mercer. They've been watching me since the day your mother passed. A breath. But I need to tell you something. Something I should have found a way to tell you 4 days ago. Eva sat up straighter. Tell me. The envelope, Mr. Tony said. The one that came under the door at 6:17. I know who brought it. The silver car moved through Los Angeles traffic. Eva's hand tightened on the phone. Who? She said. A pause. It wasn't Sung Jin's people, Mr. Tony said. It wasn't anyone connected to Baek Junho or his brother. His voice dropped lower. Miss Eva, the person who slipped that envelope under your door on the morning your mother died, was someone your mother trusted completely. The car stopped at a red light. Eva looked at the seat in front of her. At the headrest. And nothing. Who? She said again. Her voice was 11 years old and completely level. Mr. Tony said a name. And the red light turned green. And Eva Jones felt the ground shift beneath everything she thought she had already understood. The name Mr. Tony said was Jian Han. Eva did not speak for a full 10 seconds. The silver car moved through the green light. Los Angeles continued its morning. Debbie's hand was still on hers and Eva felt it tighten. Debbie had heard the car was quiet enough. The name had landed in the space between them like something dropped from a height. Say it again, Eva said. Jian Han, Mr. Tony said. I was in the building that morning. Not inside. Your mother's people had moved me to the service entrance 2 days before, when things started feeling wrong. I had a sightline to the main entrance from the camera on my personal phone. A breath. I watched her come in at 6:09. She used a service key, the kind only your mother's inner circle had. She was in and out in 4 minutes. The envelope was under the door by 6:17. Eva's mind was running very fast in a very straight line. 6:07. The exact time her mother was declared dead. Jian Han had entered the building at the exact moment Amelia Jones took her last breath. She knew, Eva said quietly. Not to Mr. Tony. To herself. She knew the exact moment. Yes, Mr. Tony said. I don't know how. But she knew before anyone made a call. Before the hospital contacted anyone. A pause. Miss Eva. I'm telling you this because I have served your mother for 6 years, and I intend to serve you for as long as you need me. But I need you to know who you're in a room with. I'm on my way to Jian right now, Eva said. Her voice was flat, completely controlled. She is at the property your mother's people arranged. Silence. Don't go, Mr. Tony said immediately. Miss Eva, don't go to that property. Why? Because if Jian delivered that envelope, she is connected to whatever was in it. And if she is connected to whatever was in it, he stopped. Reorganized. Who arranged the property? Who gave you that location? Eva thought about it. The property had come from Chul Soon, through Tuan, not from Jian. Someone else, she said carefully. Not Jian. Is that person trustworthy? Yes. No hesitation. Then go somewhere that person chose, Mr. Tony said. Not where Jian is. Not until you understand what she knows and why she was in that building. Eva said, stay available, and ended the call. She looked at Debbie. Debbie was looking back at her with the expression of someone who had heard everything and was waiting with complete steadiness for whatever came next. Juno, Eva said. Yes. He had heard too. The car was too quiet for anything else. The property on Wilshire, is that the one Mr. Kwan arranged? Or did Jian confirm it? A brief pause. Mr. Kwan arranged it. Jian confirmed she would meet us there. How did she know the location? Another pause. Longer. Mr. Kwan gave it to her. Eva picked up her phone. Called Chi-won directly. One ring. Eva. Chi-won. I need you to listen to me very carefully, and I need you to not react until I've finished. She kept her voice low and level. Jian Han entered my building at 6:09 on the morning my mother died. She used a service key. She was in and out in 4 minutes. The envelope under the door. It was her. Complete silence. My source is Mr. Tony, Eva said. He had camera footage on his personal phone. He's been watching since the day she arrived and he couldn't call until now because Mercer's people had eyes on him. The silence stretched for 5 seconds. 10. Then Chi-won said very quietly. My father needs to hear this right now. Don't go to the property. Where are you? Still in the car. Moving. Stay in the car. Keep moving. Don't stop anywhere until my father calls you directly. A pause. Eva. I believe you. And my father will believe you. But we need 60 seconds to think about what this means before we do anything. I know, Eva said. I'm thinking too. She ended the call. Looked out the window. The city moved past, brilliant and indifferent, and Eva Jones sat in the back of a silver car with her mother's second USB drive sewn into the lining of her soft teal structured jacket. Knew that morning. The color of something chosen quickly and without thinking. The color of moving forward. And thought about Jian Han. She thought about the voice on the phone. Warm and direct and prepared. Your mother called me 3 weeks ago. The way she had known about Sungjin before Eva finished explaining. The way she had said, I know about the car, when Eva mentioned the black car outside the building, as if she had been monitoring the situation from somewhere adjacent to it. She thought about the document Seri had needed, the meeting between Amelia and Sungjin, and she thought about who had known to send Eva to that study, who had said the words that made Eva think about the envelope she had never opened. Is there anything your mother left you beyond what was on the drive? Jian had asked that question. Specifically. Deliberately. Eva had found the second envelope because Jian had pointed her toward it. She sat with that for a moment. Turned it over. Looked at it from every angle the way her mother had taught her to look at things she didn't yet understand. Quietly, completely, without rushing toward a conclusion. And she thought. That could mean Jian was manipulating her. Or it could mean something else entirely. Her phone rang. Chulsoon. Direct call, his personal number, the one Chi-won had given her in the first week and told her to use only when it was essential. She answered. Eva. His voice was different from every other time she had heard it. Still controlled. Still precise. But underneath it, something she had not heard before. Something tight and specific, the sound of a man recalibrating something fundamental. Tell me exactly what Mr. Tony told you. Word for word. She told him. Word for word. The way her mother had taught her to tell things. In order without decoration, every detail in its place. When she finished, Chulsoon was quiet for a long moment. The service key, he said finally. Did Mr. Tony say how she got it? No. Just that it was the kind only your mother's inner circle had. Your mother's inner circle was 3 people, Chulsoon said. Mr. Tony, Debbie, and Jian Han. A pause. Your mother gave Jian that key. Personally. 8 months ago, the same time she first contacted her about the legal structures. Eva absorbed that. She gave her access to the building. Yes. Which means Jian's presence that morning was not unauthorized. It was possible. Planned for even. His voice was careful and deliberate. Eva, I need to ask you something and I need you to think about it before you answer. The envelope Jian delivered. Have you opened it? Yes. It was a document. My mother's record of the meeting with Sungjin. The one Seri needed. And it was addressed in your private code. Yes. Chulsoon was quiet again. The specific quiet of someone assembling something piece by piece, refusing to declare the picture finished until the last piece was in place. Eva, he said. Is it possible that your mother asked Jian to deliver that envelope? Specifically. On that morning. Eva went completely still. She had been thinking about what Jian's presence meant as a betrayal. She had not, until this exact moment, thought about what it might mean as the opposite. She knew she was dying, Eva said slowly. She had been monitoring it privately for 8 months. She knew the timing was close, and she knew that if something happened, the people who would move first would be Beck's people, and they would move fast. A breath. She couldn't guarantee I would find the safe in time. She couldn't guarantee I would find the second envelope before someone else did. She paused. So she arranged for someone she trusted to deliver it, at the right moment, to make sure it reached me first. Before anyone could get to it, Chul-soon said. Yes. And Ji-yeon delivered it, Chul-soon said, at 6:09, the exact moment your mother died. Because your mother told her, the moment I am gone you go. Before the hospital calls. Before anyone knows. You get that envelope under my daughter's door. The silver car moved through Los Angeles. Eva pressed her hand flat against the window glass, the same gesture she had made 4 days ago at a different window, watching a black car at the curb. She was still protecting me, Eva said. Even at the moment she was gone. She had arranged it so that even her last breath was pointed forward. Toward me. Her voice held for exactly that sentence. Then she pressed her lips together and held everything else behind them. Yes, Chul-soon said quietly. She was. A long moment. Then Eva said, we need to talk to Ji-yeon. Yes. Not to confront her. To understand what else my mother told her. What else she was asked to carry. Eva looked at the city outside the window. If my mother trusted her with that key and that envelope and that timing, there may be more. Things Ji-yeon is still holding. Things she is waiting for the right moment to give me. I agree, Chul-soon said. I am sending 2 of my people to the property ahead of you. Not because I distrust Ji-yeon, but because Sung-jin is in this city and distrust is no longer a choice anyone gets to make. Everyone gets protection. Everyone. Okay. And Eva, a pause. You reasoned your way through that. In a moving car, under pressure with incomplete information. You held 2 contradictory possibilities simultaneously, and did not collapse toward the easier one. Another pause. Your mother did not just leave you a company. She left you herself. Eva could not speak for a moment. Thank you, she said finally. Small and genuine. 20 minutes, Chul-soon said. We will have answers in 20 minutes. The property was a townhouse. Quiet street, unremarkable from the outside. The specific unremarkable of something that had been chosen precisely because it attracted no attention. Inside it was warm and clean and completely prepared, the kind of space that said someone had thought carefully about what a person in the middle of a crisis might need and had simply provided it without announcement. Ji-yeon was in the main room when Eva walked in. She stood when she saw Eva. Her expression was composed, the warm professional composure Eva had come to know. But underneath it, when their eyes met, something else. The specific look of someone who has been carrying something heavy and is relieved, finally, to be in the presence of the person it belongs to. Eva looked at her for a long moment. Then she said, 6:09. Ji-yeon did not look away. Did not flinch. Yes, she said simply. She asked you to. 3 weeks before, Ji-yeon said. She called me on a Tuesday evening. She said, and I am giving you her exact words because I memorized them, she said. Ji-yeon, when the morning comes you will know. Go immediately. Use the key. The envelope is in the left drawer of my desk in the study. Put it under Eva's door before anyone else arrives. She will know what EJE means. Ji-yeon's voice was steady and careful. And then she said, don't tell Eva I asked you to do this. Let her find her way to the question herself. She will. She always does. Eva stared at her. She knew I would figure it out, Eva said. She said you would take longer to trust what you found if it was handed to you, Ji-yeon said. She said you needed to arrive at it yourself. That was how she had always taught you to think. Eva sat down. The townhouse was warm and quiet around her. Debbie came and sat beside her without being asked. Juno stood near the door, large and unhurried. Exactly as he always was. What else did she ask you to carry? Eva said. Ji-yeon sat down across from her. Folded her hands. And for the next 40 minutes, she told Eva everything Amelia had prepared. It was more than Eva had imagined. More than the documents, more than the legal structures, more than the evidence. Amelia had prepared for scenarios Eva had not thought of, for the possibility that Eva might not find the safe, for the possibility that the legal team might move faster than anticipated, for the possibility that Sung-jin, not Junho, might be the one who moved first. She had prepared contingencies for contingencies. She had prepared, Eva realized, for every version of losing except one. She had not prepared for Eva to be anything less than exactly who she was. She said that was the one thing she didn't need to plan for. Jian said quietly at the end. She said, Eva will find her way. I just need to make sure the path is clear enough for her to walk it. Eva looked at her hands in her lap, at the small USB drive in the interior pocket of her teal jacket, at everything she was holding. We need to end this today, Eva said. Sungjin is in this city. The judge is being handled. The second drive, what is on it, Jian? My mother built that lockbox separately. She kept it from everyone including you. What did she know that she didn't tell anyone? Jian looked at her steadily. I don't know. She didn't tell me about the second drive. A pause. Which means it is the one thing she kept entirely for you. The one thing she trusted to no one else. Eva reached into her jacket pocket, pulled out the second drive, held it on her palm. Then it's time to find out, she said. She looked at Juno. New laptop. Cash purchase. Completely offline. Juno was already moving toward the door. Eva looked at Jian. And I want Seri on a call the moment we know what's on it. Whatever is on this drive, it goes to the right people today. Not tomorrow. Today. Understood, Jian said. Eva closed her hand around the drive. Looked at Debbie. Debbie looked back at her with the expression she had been wearing since the morning the world ended. Steady, present, asking nothing, giving everything. Okay, Eva said quietly. Let's finish this. Juno returned in 38 minutes with a laptop still in its box, receipt in cash, bag from an electronics store 3 miles away. Eva set it up herself. Her mother had taught her that too, the specific importance of understanding every tool you used, never outsourcing the fundamental things to someone else's hands. She inserted the second drive. The laptop recognized it immediately. A single folder. Password protected. Eva looked at it. Thought about her mother. About the lockbox above the wardrobe. About the key beneath the book. About the face oil kept not for use but for meaning. She typed the password without hesitating. The same one as the first drive. The street. The year. The folder opened. Inside. Not documents. Not records. Not evidence of transactions or shell companies or financial structures. A video file. Eva looked at it for a long moment. Then she pressed play. Her mother's face filled the screen. Amelia Jones, recorded perhaps 6 months ago. Still beautiful, still luminous. The specific glow that 3 journalists had called radiant in her final weeks, not knowing what it cost her. She was sitting at her desk in the study. The sandalwood diffuser was on. The desk lamp was on. She was looking directly into the camera with the expression Eva knew better than any other expression in the world, the one that meant, I am completely here. I am giving you everything I have. Eva, Amelia said. And just the name, just that one word in her mother's voice, in the warm specific timbre of it, coming out of a laptop screen in a quiet Los Angeles townhouse, was almost more than Eva could hold. She held it. If you're watching this, Amelia said, then you found the lockbox. Which means you were thorough. Which means I didn't need to worry. But I worried anyway, because I'm your mother and that is the job. A small smile. Brief and real. I need to tell you something that isn't in any document. Something I couldn't write down. Something that only exists in this recording and in my memory, and, after today, in yours. Eva leaned forward. Baek Sungjin, Amelia said, has a partner. Not a business partner. Not a financial connection. Personal one. Someone who has been inside our world, inside my world, for longer than Sungjin has been a threat. Someone who has been passing information not to Junho but directly to Sungjin for 7 years. Amelia paused. Someone I discovered 4 months ago. Someone I could not put in any document because putting their name in a document would have warned them. Would have given them time to disappear. Eva's hand tightened on the edge of the laptop. The name, Amelia said, is one you will recognize. And when I tell you, I need you to remember something first. She looked directly into the camera, directly at her daughter across 6 months and a death and everything in between. I am not angry. I was for a time. But anger is expensive and I didn't have the budget for it. What I felt in the end was something closer to sad. Because this person, in another life, in a version of things that went differently, could have been someone worth trusting. A pause. The name, Amelia said, is. The video froze. Eva stared at the screen. Tapped the trackpad. The spinning wheel appeared. The laptop buffering. The file corrupted at exactly this point. Exactly this moment. The name locked behind a freeze frame of her mother's face with her lips just parting around a word that had not yet arrived. Eva pressed every key. Restarted the file. Tried 3 times. The video played identically each time. Amelia's face. The study. The sandalwood. The words building toward the name. And the freeze. Every time. At exactly the same second. Jian was beside her now, looking at the screen. Sayri on the video call from her hotel watching. Debbie behind her, hand on her shoulder. Eva looked at the frozen frame of her mother's face. Lips parted, eyes direct, the name right there, on the other side of a corrupted file in 6 months and everything. She picked up her phone. Chi-1, she said the moment he answered. I'm here. What happened? The video. My mother recorded a name. Someone inside our world who has been feeding Sungjin information for 7 years. Someone neither Sayri nor your father knows about. Eva's voice was steady and tight. The file is corrupted. It freezes at the exact moment she says the name. A long silence. Corrupted how? Chi-1 said. Accidentally or... I don't know yet, Eva said. But Chi-1, someone knew this file existed. Someone knew what was on it. And someone made sure that the one piece of information that would expose them couldn't be heard, Chi-1 finished. Yes. The townhouse was very quiet. Eva, Chi-1 said slowly. The only people who knew about the second drive who could have known are the people who were close enough to your mother to know she kept things separately. People with access. People she trusted. Eva looked around the room. Jian, Debbie, Juno, Sayri on the screen. And beyond them, the people not in the room. Mr. Tony, who had called from somewhere he wasn't sure was private. And one other person. One person who had known about the first drive. Who had coordinated everything. Who had been 3 steps ahead at every turn and whose involvement had felt, from the very beginning, like exactly the right kind of help arriving at exactly the right moment. Eva looked at the frozen frame of her mother's face. At the lips parted around a name. Chi-1, she said very quietly. How well do you actually know Jian Han? The silence that followed was the longest silence Chi-1 had ever given her. And in that silence, Eva Jones felt the ground shift again, deeper this time, more fundamental, the specific feeling of a truth arriving that changes not just what you know but who you thought you could trust while you were learning it. The frozen frame of Amelia's face looked back at her from the screen. Patient. Waiting. She always does. This has been Black Silk Stories, where every story is a world and every world hits different. The video file is corrupted. The name is locked behind a freeze frame. And Eva Jones is sitting in a room with the people she has been trusting, looking at each of them differently now. If you are not subscribed, you are going to miss everything that comes next. Subscribe, drop a comment and come back, because the person closest to this story is not who you think they are. And where Eva and Chi-1 are going next, you absolutely cannot afford to be left behind.